I know I usually start off with just one thing to talk about,
Mm,
because it's just to have a little chuckle, you
mhm.
know. But first, first things first. Did you know that Amazon is completely sold out of like podcasting condensing microphones?
Really?
You know, I mean, I know we're one to talk. I know we're one to talk, but so many stupid podcasts are gonna come out of this. Like, oh, I just really need to record this real quick. I'm editing and I'm on the toilet. I just really needed to throw this in real quick. So bread doesn't rise without yeast. you know, and that's exactly what it's gonna be. It's gonna be like, oh, I just burnt. I guess I made flatbread,
Yeah.
made
That's what it's gonna be.
matzahs.
Made flatbread, made like, oh my god, the amount of stupid podcasts that are going on right now about like bread and other like just stupid stuff.
I mean, obviously, I respect the hustle. You gotta respect the hustle, especially like when you're trying to get your toes deep in the water here too. Um, it's been a lot of fun for us so far, and so I
hmm
think like I would encourage like anybody who's listening to even if it's not really like something that you think that you're going to keep up with for a long time, just put a couple episodes out. And our sponsor, Anchor.fm, they offer free podcast hosting. Crazy. That's the only reason why we're able to do this right now because neither one of us can afford it. Um, so
Yeah, that's true.
so yeah. Did you know there's a third Jurassic World that's supposed to come out?
After the crazy events of the second one was so stupid.
I didn't even bother watching it because the first one sucked so bad.
Dude, in the second one, I think the little girl that's in that, she's like a Velociraptor clone or something. Like she can, it's so stupid. And at the end, like, yeah, they already hinted that the third movie was gonna come out at the end of the second. They were like, they had showed that all the dinosaurs had escaped and now they were free and they were running the land.
Nice.
Think about that. Think about that. Can you imagine just, driving down somewhere in like San Diego and you just
Yeah.
see a freaking velociraptor come out of
You got
somewhere?
a you got a pterodactyl chasing after you.
Yeah, you're not gonna be worried about the traffic in the city. You're gonna be worried about that pterodactyl trying to take you down.
R.I.P. to the dinosaurs. It's
All
called
right.
a T-Rex-dactyl. It's one thing that I've thought about so much is that this world exists in the same world that the first three movies came out of, right?
Mm.
Right? Like it's events after the first three Jurassic Park movies. Under what circumstances did people in this world like not understand after three events where everything just goes crazy? They thought, we'll try again.
It's
It went bad the first three times, but four times the charm.
it's so stupid. Like you gotta think you gotta take it into consideration. It would be like if the zoo like just kept losing its animals. Eventually people would just be like, all right, well maybe zoos aren't the best thing ever because tigers are just getting out and mauling people.
You
You
really
know.
got to think about it too, because it's like there are dangerous, like dinosaur-like creatures that live on this planet, like Komodo dragons. If Komodo dragons got out of the zoo, oh my goodness, you know how many children would go missing?
Do you
you know,
do you know the amount of insurance that these companies are probably paying out like in the movie world? If you ever took this into consideration, the amount of insurance money that's probably going out right now
Oh
because
yeah. I,
of
I I bet you there's probably like a safety waiver that people have to sign before going in there. It's like, hey, even though this is a movie world, you've probably seen the first three movies that this happened in. So if you watch the movies, just make sure you sign this waiver. Imagine how meta that movie would be if like the Jurassic Park movies were movies and then the Jurassic World movies, like they had those movies to watch when they were like growing up as kids or something, and someone was like, "Oh, let me try out that idea." Imagine if
yeah.
someone comes out and says that, I would be so happy with that. My entire opinion of the show or the movies would change completely.
So called breaking the third wall.
Isn't it the fourth wall?
Oh yeah, it is the fourth wall. It is the fourth wall. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I am
yeah.
so sorry.
You should
Yeah.
be. You should be.
I apologize to all of our viewers for my ignorance
For your ignorance in theater
in theater talk.
terminology,
Yeah, I wasn't a theater kid.
theatrical terminology. Can't
Theatrical.
you cannot handle the terminology
Yeah,
because
that's what it is basically. I can't handle the terminology.
I couldn't handle. Oh man, I don't want to say this, but I think it's like a national thing. Are like the whole theater kid thing.
Mhm.
You know the stereotype. I want to shed light on the fact that like not everyone is like that because I had a couple of really good friends that were in theater uh, back in high school,
Mhm.
but I mean like look, there were some like honest you would never find those folks anywhere else. And it's like, and here's the funny thing, just that you know how like there are like people that have super crazy interviews because they're like stupid schmacked on meth or something, or
Yeah.
or like they were ridiculously drunk when they went to the red carpet or whatever, or they said like Mel Gibson saying all of those crazy things that he said a couple years ago. I mean, you got to think about it. We think Mel Gibson was probably a theater kid,
Probably, yeah, you're right.
and so those and so that it's I want to I mean it starts in high school, and then they never grow out of those habits because some people, I mean, some people who are born like natural born superstars that
Mhm.
just own performances and whatnot. I mean, you can look back. I mean, there's probably a high school play with Matt Damon in it or something, or like there's probably a high school play somewhere with Joaquin Phoenix. And
Right.
Joaquin Phoenix is a force of nature in movies. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix is probably like the most talented actor in the world, and that's not me just like coming off the coattails of Joker or whatever. Because I mean, I mean, there was a lot of controversy around that movie before it even came out, and it was not anything. It was not anything like these people were fearing it was going to be. It was just about like the hubris of society, like how it affects crazy, mentally unstable men who have traumatic disorders, and how society will chew and destroy a man out of wherever he is in his life. I mean, the whole movie literally was the "We live in a society" meme.
Yeah,
It
obviously.
it just
I
was.
it wasn't a bad movie. I think a lot of people were like, obviously it was a Joker movie. It was going to be a little creepy and it was going to be a little gore infested, but I think people were trying to blow it out of proportion to where they were like, yeah, this is going to be the movie that serial killers are going to watch when they go,
Yeah.
kill people. Like it's not it wasn't intended to be like that. I think
And here's I
film
mean,
has
the funny
grown.
word. The funny word was that the incels were going to go and do it. The incels.
So stupid. I swear, a lot of the people like that make arguments these days about like video games cause violence, movies cause violence,
Yeah.
TV shows cause violence. They're so ignorant to the fact that a lot of these we've been playing video games for generations. I mean, games like GTA. People
Just think
say,
about
"Oh,
it.
well,
Super Mario
GTA."
Brothers so violent.
Yeah, with the you gotta abuse mushrooms and dodge bullets. I mean, at the end of the day, what's his name, Bullet Bill or whatever he is, he is a big bullet. I mean, that's technically gun ammunition in your games. Stop,
Oh yeah, you
stop,
got me. Does that
stop.
make that makes Princess Peach a hoe?
Yeah, Princess Peach is the most useless. Like, if feminists need to attack anybody, they need to go attack Princess Peach. She's so useless at
Oh my gosh,
everything.
she's the damsel in distress that feminists hate. You know, like it's
Exactly.
like the you can't do anything yourself. I mean, it's funny to think about. Like her character is literally, oh no, this giant swinger came to my castle and pulled me out and wants me to be, his girl instead of Mario, right? And then out of nowhere, Mario's like, oh, I guess I'm gonna put down my plunger since I'm a plumber, and then go and rescue a princess from a giant turtle.
It
you
used to be a
know?
giant. It used to be a giant monkey when he was still Jumpman. When he was, you remember the old arcade game, the old
Yeah.
Mario arcade game. Nintendo. We touched on Nintendo in the last episode. Nintendo has like just taken over the market when it comes to kids games.
Oh
If
yeah. I mean,
if you
because they're safe. There,
exactly if you
there's literally nothing wrong at all with,
with
and,
an
and so I mean, it begs the question: is it's like, oh yeah, are all video games cause violence? Get out of here, Mario! Come on.
yeah, if your kid has violent tendencies because of Mario, there's nothing wrong with Mario. There's something wrong with your child.
Yeah.
Please take them to go get help. Like I think people are so like people want that their kids have problems and they
Oh
want to
yeah.
always project the blame to something else, whether it's another person, whether it's media, whether it's anything like that. They want to project it. I think this happens with like like foreign kids a lot more. I think a lot more foreign parents don't want to go out there and admit that there's something wrong with their children and their children
Yeah.
need to go get help. They need medicine, do medication, do something, therapy. They just think of that as like a different type of disability, like a mental disability when it comes to like,
Yeah.
something that's a learning disability. They assume that being bipolar is technically a learning disability, even though I don't understand where those two things, come and interject with each other.
Stuff doesn't really. There's nothing in the world that can make you any less of a human being you know, just because you
Yeah,
were born with it.
exactly. Just because you were born with something doesn't make you less of a person. I mean, even people with these mental disabilities, they're out here living society the best they can. I mean, they go to school with everybody else. They do everything that everybody else does to the best of their abilities.
It's just when, to go back to the violent video games thing, it's just like, when your kid starts playing Mario, just Super Mario Brothers, and then starts jumping on his uh, his other kiddos in circle time because they're Goombas in his mind. Yeah, I mean that could be pretty violent. That could cause some pretty bad neck injuries.
I swear to God,
Goomba.
if I ever see a news story that says that a child has jumped on another child because he assumed he was a Goomba, I'm just
Circle
gonna,
time gone wrong.
I'm
Kindergartner decides to jump on another kindergartner's head because he was a Goomba.
I would literally stop. I would leave. Like that's what I would do. I'd be gone. I'd be like, nope. You know what, world? You're stupid. I don't want to be a part of you. People need to. Why? But kids horseplay all the time. Kids horseplay all the time. When I was little, we used to pretend to like what was popular back then. I guess tag was so violent. Tag was such a violent game. People are always just
Oh
like
yeah, knocking everybody over. That
literally.
was dangerous.
All right, people
Yeah, I
think
mean,
video
listen,
games are
let your kid
violent.
play NBA 2K, and then don't get worried about your kid being violent. You can't let your kids play tag anymore.
Literally,
And also, well, yeah, I mean, kids are never gonna play tag because of the coronavirus. Oh my
yeah,
gosh, here we go again. We already started back up with the virus.
because of
Oh man, it's
because
unavoidable.
it's so it's so like it's just something going on right now. You can't avoid it because it's just something that's happening right
It's
now.
all that everybody talks about, though. It's the first thing you talk about, especially like now when you meet new people, which unfortunately, like if you're on the essential employee spectrum, which I'm considered essential employee, I'm not entirely sure why. I'm not complaining because I'm broke, but we still come in contact with brand new people all the time. And so, and it's funny, literally, the first thing that comes out of some people's mouths is, yeah, I don't trust China. And it's just kind of like, I'm setting up your phone. Like you just bought an iPhone. We're not talking about China right now. I'm trying to teach you how to use your phone.
I think
Yeah. How
I
about
think
that virus?
I think people
Scary, huh?
just like being able to express bigoted thoughts in like one place. They're just kind of like they're like they're like, well, if this person agrees with me, then my ideals are, relevant, and
Validated, yeah.
yeah, they're validated. So
They
people
just
will,
automatically assume that I'm a colonizer, then that I'm gonna agree with their opinions.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. You hate China? Yeah, me too, cause I'm white.
And let me say something positive about a Trump supporter in front of a white person. They will literally become my friend in, like, if I say something positive about Trump in front of like a white Trump supporter, he will become my friend in 2 seconds. Doesn't matter if I'm like, yeah, his some of his policies are okay, but he's still an idiot. People will be like, dude, he's a Trump supporter and he's brown. You are the right type of people. I'm just kind of like, oh, okay. Well,
That's not
they're
what I said, but okay.
like, okay, acceptance. So I think people just like when other people agree with them, and
Validation.
I think Trump has managed to just wrap validation around his campaign. It's just
Oh
he's
yeah,
made
I mean the
so many
forgotten
people.
vote is the reason why he won. When you think about it, that's the Midwest that usually doesn't vote. That you know, I mean it's funny to think about that. Literally half the reason why people voted for him was because Hillary called them degenerates. Hillary Clinton called them degenerates. But I mean,
Yeah,
hey, now that people know that you're brown and that you're a moderate, you know, individual, doesn't not necessarily centrist, but I'd say that your opinions are on both sides of the spectrum because of the fact that you're minority and the fact that you were came from first generation immigrants, and and then also you being a business oriented person, so you understand how to be fiscally on one side and then emotionally and rationally on the other side. It's just you intermingle what you want because you believe what you believe in. But you now have shooters for the Boogaloo. When they raid the government, you're safe. The Boogaloo. I guess it's a good time to cue the intro, huh? Alrighty, folks. Thanks for tuning in again to another episode of Life During Quarantine. This is episode 4. Just want to thank you guys for taking a little time out of your day to listen to a show. Just two dudes, just talking about dumb stuff. Just two
hmm
dudes. You know,
yeah, yeah.
we
Just remember, you guys, we're here to have fun. So please don't get offended by anything we say. I mean, everybody has ideals that they believe in, and we don't attack anyone's ideals here. And we would appreciate it if nobody attacked ours, because we're not imposing it on anybody.
honestly, most of what we talk about is supposed to be comedic, and
Yeah,
when we talk about serious topics, we the tone is shifted, but
yeah.
we like to keep things lighthearted.
We
Um,
we hope that you can sense the sarcasm in our voice, because if you can't, then we're gonna have to start putting in like sarcasm quotes every 2 minutes.
every on the YouTube video clips, we're just gonna have to have air quotes come up like next to our face every single time we say something that's slightly sarcastic. We should just do that anyway. That I mean, it would take
The
forever in
amount
editing.
of editing that I would
Yeah.
have to do. Oh my gosh.
I can. I,
The
I'll worry
amount.
about distribution. You worry about editing. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Um, yeah. So anyway, guys, thanks again. Welcome back. Yeah. So how about that coronavirus?
Um, Big thing, the price of recently the price of milk and stuff is supposed to start going down, like it was going down during
Yeah.
the recessionary period recently.
2008.
Yeah, 2008, because farms are still producing milk and eggs at the same rate that they were before, but
Hmm.
restaurants being mostly closed now. I mean, take this into example. The US spent $50 billion last year on restaurants alone. This was
50
dine-in restaurants.
billion.
if
Like you mean Americans taking money out of their pockets and putting it into a food chain, like
yeah,
$50 billion.
$50 billion.
Cool.
So take that and then just cut that in a third. Probably a third of that
Yeah,
probably
maybe
being
even
spent on
less, to be
yeah,
perfectly
yeah,
honest, because a lot of businesses are just closed.
literally. So because of that, all these farmers that are producing their food is just kind of going to waste. And people are saying, well, if it's going to waste, they need to go donate it to food banks. I don't,
Yeah,
which is what my mom said. She was like, well, if they're wasting it, they need to donate it. But I think what people don't understand is distribution is a big part of that. The same trucks that go deliver stuff to restaurants and these big distribution centers,
yeah.
they're not just going to be like, oh, okay, let's not get paid and let's shift our
Yeah,
focus
exactly.
from
And it's also just
farm.
to keep in mind that the farmer needs to make money off of this stuff too, because
Yeah.
he's suffering just as much as everybody else is. I mean, people forget about farmers all the time.
It's a lot.
What's a lot of people think, one of the perspectives that I kind of have on farmers is that a lot of people consider them to be, slower individuals that have no values other than the ones that are written in the Bible, and I mean, there's one thing that I hate about the way that culture orients, like kids nowadays, is the how smart are you tests. The SAT is just a how smart are you test, or the ACT is just a how smart are you test.
Mhm.
And the question should never be how smart are you. It should be how are you smart. And so, I mean, I, you, Abdullah, would you like to go out on a farm and work for like 6 hours on end, nonstop, and then would you even have any clue as to what you're doing?
No, 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 no.
That is
I
a
don't know the
certain
first thing
type of
about
knowledge.
planting. I mean, the knowing what manure to use where, knowing what pesticides you can use, knowing
How
knowing what
deep the
plant
holes you have to dig for the
literally
seeds.
how much water you can give the plants, how what the perfect time is
Yeah,
to get ready to harvest. This is all stuff you learn. Agriculture school and college is a real thing, and people need to understand that farmers aren't stupid. Okay, a lot of farmers, they go to school the same amount of time as, let's say, an accountant would go to just go
yeah,
out there and do this hard work, but they need that basic knowledge, and a lot of times the knowledge is passed down over generations,
yeah.
but sometimes they have to learn it themselves.
Yeah, I think that it's I love those bumper stickers that, I love bumper stickers in general. The ones that are like always about like the end is nigh or something, or like God is coming back for you. My favorite one is no farmers, no food. Is that an
Mhm.
is it's like it's supposed to be like a truth, right? Where it's like, if we didn't have farmers, you, the Americans, would not have food on your table. But I read it as no farmers, no food. Like it's an insult. Like it's like a WWE SmackDown intro. No farmers, no food. Just imagine. Like if the Undertaker came out to that or something. It's like, listen, without farmers, there's no food. And then everybody in the crowd just goes crazy because anything that any WWE star says, people just freak out.
Oh
Everybody,
my
oh
god.
my gosh.
Dude,
Now that's a whole new
WWE
level low. Now, if we're gonna talk about smartness, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
WWE has been getting a lot of bad raps because of all their deals with Saudi Arabia. Um, but right now they WWE's laid off like 15 employees. Like
WWE.
that, yeah, WWE has laid off 15 employees. They've laid off executive producers, they've laid off wrestlers, and I'm talking not like small time wrestlers. They've laid off bigger names, and obviously I'm not going to go into that because most of our audience isn't going to know what I'm talking about. um,
Your
but
secret knowledge of WWE.
yes, I was a I was a really really big professional wrestling fan. Fun fact: when I was little, my biggest goal was like to get into the WWE. Like that
That's the
was goal
funniest thing. That's
when
the
I was
funniest
18.
thing.
I was like, I'm gonna wrestle for a living. Like I'm gonna become John Cena. I'm gonna wrestle for a
I mean,
living.
the thing that you got to think about is John Cena is not only like a wrestler. That man is an actor too. Like,
Dude,
I
he's
mean,
in
all of those
everything.
WWE stars are kind of like actors in a way because obviously, yeah, they do body slam each other, and it does look pretty painful. But like, They have to choreograph these things and then do them live. I mean, it's ridiculous. And oh my goodness, the ones that are like gone wrong or whatever, that the ones that are actually real and
You
like
remember the
someone's
one
like
I sent
skull is
you?
busted. Yes, like on the side of the ring or whatever, and they bonk their head on the side and then they're just bleeding everywhere. It's like, oh my gosh. And you know what? Here's the thing: the people in the crowd are still going nuts. It's like, how little respect for human life do you have to be out in the crowd and just being like, there's blood everywhere, yeah. Like,
I
that's
just
crazy. That's
I
like going back
just
to like the gladiators and stuff.
I just for our YouTube viewers, you're gonna enjoy this. I just put up the video that I had sent Sam a couple of days ago,
Oh,
where one of the female wrestlers like literally drop kicked the other wrestler, and her head like just slammed against the ground.
yeah, it was so bad.
I was like, Sam, look at this. You always say wrestling's fake. Watch this.
Okay, it is. It's real, but it's also fake.
Yeah,
It, to an
it's
extent,
fake.
it's.
It's entertainment.
All
It's
right.
entertainment. Okay, we're not gonna get into this argument because I get
The
heated about
semantics
this
of
for no reason. I get so heated because I've dealt with it my entire life.
7-year-old Abdullah just like rises back up. Your blood's not boiling. It's 7-year-old Abdullah coming back from the dead to just be like, WWE is real,
Yeah, I
and
thought
then
that
and then Israel.
I used to think WWE was really cool until I got into like middle school and saw wrestling, like the actual professional wrestling sport, and I was like, this is stupid. I don't want to
Yeah,
do this.
wrestling sucks. Wrestling. Did you ever stay back in high school to look at any of the wrestling matches?
No, no,
It's
no.
so boring. All they're doing is just aggressively cuddling each other the whole time. Like, yeah, of course. Like, I'm not saying like you don't have to be strong to do it. You got to be strong because a lot of times you have to pick up a person behind your head and slam them backwards. I mean, that's a feat of human strength that I don't think I'd ever have achieved had I been on the wrestling team. But
Mhm.
oh my gosh, it's so boring. It's
I
just the
mean,
same thing over and over
yeah.
again.
It just and again, nobody, please, no, like nobody get offended if you're like a collegiate wrestler. Please
Look,
don't body slam me.
if you're a wrestler, I'm not hating on you, because I know that you probably can beat the crap out of me, and I'm not like, I know I normally put up a tough guy front where I'm like, if someone's like someone's messing with you, someone's messing with you at work, or who was it that Mary was getting messed with one day. One of our associates, Mary, was getting messed with a bigger dude, and like a lot bigger than me, a lot bigger than me. And I got up out of my seat and I was like, "Who is this guy? And why is he yelling at Mary?" As if I was gonna, as if I was actually gonna try and throw some punches at this dude who's like 6'6". Like, yeah, I probably would have punched him where it hurts, but like, I'm not. I'm not saying I could take on a collegiate wrestler.
Well,
Absolutely not.
you know how stupid I get when I'm angry, but
Oh my
anger
god.
anger only takes you so far. Like, yeah, I could probably withstand a few, hits here and there, but man, eventually, if he cracks me upside the head hard enough, I'm not gonna. Which is why I told you.
Just
So if nobody knows, Sam has a boxing background, and I was telling Sam if I ever got angry enough, the only way, like I was like, Sam, you would probably beat my butt up and down this metro
I
unless I'm mad.
boxing is the best sport. Boxing,
Boxing is awesome.
I mean, look, people, you can like basketball. Basketball's fine. Like you have to be a very athletic person to play basketball. Very athletic. You gotta have great cardiovascular. You gotta have great upper body strength. You gotta have great legs. Like that, I never want to say that about a basketball player ever again. That they got great legs, but I mean, in the WNBA, I mean that's fine, but in the basketball world, you got to have good legs. But anyway, but you can like baseball. You got to be a very concentrated person. I wasn't very good at baseball. I mean, I love the Yankees, but like, I can't sit for a whole baseball game. I can't do it.
I can't
It's
either. I can't. Baseball is, I tried liking baseball. Baseball. You know why?
cricket.
Basically, Okay,
It's a.
cricket.
I
Okay,
know it's something
so
so
this
different.
is this is so bad, but I can sit through an entire cricket game for the most part because I enjoy watching it. And I think that's why a lot
Yeah,
of people can sit through like a baseball
like
game
golf.
because because you need to love golf to sit through golf.
Oh
I
my
don't
gosh,
know
yeah.
I don't know why Tiger Woods is so rich, but
Because he's good at what he does. Have you ever
he
watched?
no, I don't watch golf.
So, why does Tiger Woods have money? Because he's good at what he does. Oh yeah, I know that. Have you ever seen it? No. How do
I
you know
probably
that? You understand that Tiger Woods is a very very concentrated golf player. I mean, apparently he's one of like the greatest who's ever lived. I don't know golf statistics. I mean, you just think about sports
I,
analysts for golf. Oh my gosh. But anyway, to get back to the point of
we should
this,
have
like you can like all
Mohammed do sports analyst for us.
yeah, here's bro, so here is the segment on basketball, bro. But either way, um, if he listens to this, he's my secret is gonna be exposed that I have a spot on Muhammad impression,
He'll be okay.
bro. But either way, to get back to the point of that statement, is like you can like all those sports all you want, but as a male, there is nothing more enjoyable in the world of sports than watching two people go at it. You know, like UFC is so exciting because people are literally killing each other. And oh, we're going back to the W. I guess I'm one of those people. No, listen, WWE is something different. If somebody like shatters their skull at WWE, the people in the crowd should not be like, yeah, because these people are being paid to be professional like actors that get body slammed. They're like
But
stunt actors.
it is awesome. Let me tell you something.
Get out
With
of
the
here.
when the TV-14 era was going on and before WWE went all PG and stuff, dude, they used to take razor blades and slit their heads
I
open and they
know.
used to just like gush blood everywhere. And that was an art. It was an art form because they knew exactly where to cut to produce the perfect amount of blood.
Very artistic to mutilate someone's face, and so it's got to be done to a science.
What
Yeah,
was it?
watching UFC and getting a visceral reaction from that, I think is a lot different than getting a visceral reaction from WWE. Because,
Yeah,
like, look,
because yeah,
it's primal for humans to be like fight or flight. You know, throw up your dukes. It's like, watching these two people fight makes me feel like I want to fight too. You know that feeling like where you're watching like a boxing movie and then Rocky is going at it or Jake LaMotta is going for, an uppercut and you're sitting there like, oh, I want to punch that guy too because they're such hateable characters for a while.
mhm.
That's what UFC is too. And I think like to get like I said, to get a visceral reaction from WWE where people actually get seriously hurt by accident, that's way different than going to an event, watching two people literally trying to murder each other for money. That's so much different than
And it's so sad because people are like, well, WWE is more caveman-esque than like
oh, get out of here.
UFC. Dude, a UFC is literally two like skinny dudes or big dudes in a cage against each other, just punching the crap
It's
out
a
of each other.
cage match. Yeah, it's like Mortal Kombat. It's crazy. I mean there was one fight that I
Brutality.
fatality. There's a finish him. There was one video that I saw a long time ago where it kind of scared me out of like even thinking about MMA in a sense where it's like kickboxing and whatnot because I want to pick boxing up. Um, but um but there's one guy who got decked just perfectly, just absolutely like smack dab in his center of balance, and his neck just flew back. His neck flew back into the air, and his spine collapsed. Like the dude was paralyzed instantly by this like this punch. He didn't die. He didn't die, thankfully. His neck was broken and his spine collapsed. Like I've never even heard of that. Like his spine straightened out,
Can you
and he
imagine?
just kind of like is paralyzed now. I mean, the man is paralyzed from the neck down.
Can you imagine someone makes you a quadriplegic by just knocking you out? Like someone hits you
Oh my
so
god.
hard.
Oh my
boxing
god.
is very fun. I'm not gonna ever pick it up because I feel like it would be too dangerous for me in general with like my, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. You don't have to go there.
I feel like that type of uncontrolled, like where I'm in, especially with the UFC. I feel like if I'm in an
An
environment where
environment where
like
you're
I
allowed to kill somebody. Is that what you were gonna say,
this
Abdullah?
is
An
okay, next
environment where you
topic.
were.
Next
Next
topic. Next.
topic. I so I just remember. Do you remember that? Do you remember Conor McGregor versus Cowboy?
Oh, yes, yes, yes,
Remember
yes,
how
yes.
long it lasted? It's 11 seconds, right? Something
Was
crazy like that. And he made like something like ridiculous, like $80 million off of advertising or 60 million. Like, I don't know. It's some big, stupid number. But I mean, like, think about that. He was guaranteed this amount of money from advertisers and this amount of money for winning the fight. And he did it in 11 seconds. That was the most profitable 11 seconds, like,
in
probably
existence.
ever in sports history. 11 seconds got you the huge payout. Let me see. Let me just Google it real quick. How much did.
And it's
Uh,
crazy because like someone like Mayweather, who everyone rats on because he makes a lot of money per fight and he only does money fights, he still has to go 5, 6 rounds during a
oh,
fight.
yeah.
Unless,
Oh yeah,
unless he knocks someone out the first round like that,
yeah.
he's
I mean,
still
boxing is more of a like a strategy. Oh my goodness, I'm so dumb. Okay, guys, look, I don't know how money works when it comes to sports. I don't get it. I don't know. I'm sorry. He didn't make 80 million. He didn't make 60 million. He made. Wait. Hang on. Wait a second. I'm okay. So it said that he was guaranteed $3 million minimum from UFC.
hmm So he
But
probably
that's
made
just
upwards of
UFC.
10 million. He
Yeah.
probably made upwards of 10, 15 million. Again, they're not gonna. I was gonna say if he made 80 million, that would have been insane. But that
Oh my
just
goodness,
shows you
that's
how much
incredible.
I actually watch UFC. Um, but where
Like,
I was believing the statistic, but because sports players make so
no,
much stupid money that
no,
it's
I was
really
right. I was right. It was $80 million.
all in total with everything with advertisement revenue
That
and everything.
his take for the fight will be the biggest in MMA career. Estimated that it will be in the neighborhood of 80. I was right. It was 80 million. It was 80 million, and for Khabib, he took 50.
That is
That's
insane.
I knew I was right. Guys, I take it back. I'm not stupid, and I'm gonna no longer doubt my intelligence and my sponge knowledge of just dumb. Why did I know that? Did I have any reason to know that? Absolutely not. But I just remember hearing it somewhere.
That
Um,
is insane. I think that's
how?
why and people just love sports players for as much as people say that greed is what kills America. People love sports players and they
Oh,
make so much money, dude. They
remember,
make millions.
remember the Jeopardy guy, James Holzhauer.
hmm
Holzhauer, I think his name is. His career before Jeopardy, like before being just like a smart dude. He uh he was a sports gambler, and so he made so much money off of gambling on events like this. Like say, Conor McGregor versus Cowboy, just because that's the one we were talking about. He bets, a $330 bet to win $100. I mean, he won $430. You know what I mean? He that's that. I mean, that's basically the way that he made his way through college. He went to sports bars and he paid for like half of his college tuition with gambling money that he made from sports betting.
they don't. Some people are just gifted when it comes to that stuff. Like statistically, they're just so like
Inclined.
mentally, they're so gifted that they could just be like, this is probably going to result in this, and people are like, oh
Yeah.
well, that's just lucky. No, a lot of the time it is statistics and mathematics. Um, there was a really good. There was I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's a show called Young Sheldon. It's basically a
Oh my
spin-off of
gosh.
like Big Bang Theory.
I
I know,
will
I know.
never. I will never.
I'm not
I
gonna
will
go too much
never.
into it.
for a minute, I will never for a minute ever put that show on in my house. I will never sit here and go, you know what I'm really feeling today? Young Sheldon.
Well, anyway, it was a good show. I'm not gonna say it was a bad show. The
Good for you.
episode that I was talking about was he was basically talking about sports analyst, and he wins a whole bunch of bets for his grandma because he uses math and statistics to just guess every single play, because he just goes off of what is supposed to be more popular, what the team does more often. And a lot of those sports gamblers, the ones that are really good, the ones that are over here betting on like things like horses,
They just have huge knowledge of the history of sports.
they know so much, and it's
Yeah.
just, I don't think they get enough credit.
These guys, I mean, really, I hate the people that are like, your knowledge can only come from books. You know what I mean?
Are
Like,
you talking about that guy with the Lamborghini in his garage and the bookshelves?
ooh, Ty Lopez, absolutely not.
I hate Ty Lopez so much.
He's apparently a really nice guy. But
I don't care what
his
he is
presence
with
on
his
YouTube videos, oh
supermodel
my gosh,
girlfriends.
yeah, he's got supermodel girlfriends, not for his personality, I promise you that. But or his looks for that matter. It's because of money, my friend. But
Dude, he looks like a gecko.
I thought we were talking about how we're not gonna make fun of people.
I don't
Um,
care. He's rich. You can make fun of rich people all the time.
Agreed. Anyway, those people that say that knowledge can only come from books.
Mm.
Do you have any idea how much like nonsense that has come in like so in handy in my life from like watching YouTube rabbit holes, from like just watching. One of my favorite things to do is like if I can't sleep, I try to find something to bore me to help me fall asleep, right? So because my insomnia is really really bad. I'm going off of like for this entire week, probably like for over the course of like 7 days, probably like less than 20 hours. I mean, like sleep for me is an afterthought anyway because of all of this. But but when I'm awake in bed at night and I'm like, what am I gonna bore myself with? I do this thing where I'll just go on YouTube and I'll just type in WHY, and thousands of videos. Like, why do super moons exist? Or why is dirt brown? Or like, where did the color purple in like robes and gowns come from in ancient Rome? Like dumb
Yeah.
stuff like that. But you know what? You know what? For all those people that think knowledge only comes from books, you are not cool at parties. You're not. You know who is? The guy who knows that they used to crush up snails to make purple garments in ancient Rome. Okay? That guy is fun. That guy has got a lot of knowledge that nobody needs to know.
That it really does depend on what party you're at that point.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like I mean, the Donner Party wouldn't want to attend that one. Nobody was fun in that one. That was a cannibalism joke. There we go.
Okay, so in other news, in other more normal news, a 99-year-old grandmother has recovered from COVID. So we're
Whoever
going
she
back
is,
into,
round of applause.
yeah, we're going back into COVID news, but we're gonna share some positive stories, nothing super negative with you guys. So she was basically diagnosed a couple weeks ago, and she has just officially fully recovered. Um, the entire family actually got COVID, um, and her granddaughter in 2002 actually got the West Nile virus, which she recovered from that, which she
West
had.
Nile is so bad. West Nile is awful. It's terrible stuff. All those tick-borne diseases are awful.
And like and she recovered, and now she's back to making masks for healthcare workers
It's awesome.
in Detroit. So the lady put some words out there, and she basically said, even if you get COVID, don't think for the worst. There is always a chance, anybody can recover. And the lady has had breast cancer. Like she has
Oh my
recovered
gosh.
and beat breast cancer. That lady was literally the percentage that they say will 100% die from COVID-19. So,
That's awful. I mean, I would, man, you really sit back and you think about how much you complain about stuff. When someone has had breast cancer and West Nile and the coronavirus now, I mean, come on.
like the amount of stuff that people really go through within a single time frame.
Lifetime, yeah. It's amazing.
It's and shout out to her. She 100% has put a lot more hope in people's hearts, because this is just an example of saying that nobody is safe and nobody is not safe. Nobody is 100%, like, if you get it, you are not going to die
Yeah.
100% of the time, but it
I
also
think this.
means
I think the scariest thing about it for people though is that we still don't know that much about it. But still,
Mhm.
like, there's only we still don't really know anything about it. We're
Yeah,
never
now
gonna know
now
the
people
origin.
now people are saying that it's giving like brain damage. Like people can't smell anymore. People can't
Oh
like
my
taste
gosh.
anymore. It's like, what
I
the
hate
heck?
news media. I hate news media so much. I hate news media. I mean, under what circumstances is it right for basically advertising entertainment companies to use people's anxieties for numbers? I mean, that's awful. That's so awful. Under under no circumstances is it okay, in my opinion, to use something that someone is so worried about and just be like, okay, so people are tuning into our station because this is where they come to hear about the coronavirus. Uh, how can we tell them that if they get it, they're not going to be able to smell anymore? Like that's that's terrible. I hate the news. I hate the news. I hate the news so
The
much.
the scary thing is they're working off of this fear factor, and it's really making people anxious. Like even me, the other day I kind of woke up and I was like warm, like I was hot, and I was like, oh my god, I have a fever. Oh my god, oh my god. It was just because
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
laying
yeah,
in my
yeah.
bed.
When I told you about my little allergy hiatus, right? So
Hmm.
I had to stay home from work for a week, which they recommend longer than a week, but it wasn't the virus. So I had a really like mild fever. Like it wasn't anything. It was just 99 something. Like it just was fluctuating a little higher than it normally does. And apparently the average human blood temperature has dropped a little bit just to show that it's one of the new arguments for global warming or climate change, however you describe it. Climate change is real, global warming is not. Um, but but so I had really mild fever, and I apparently had asthma that was undiagnosed for like my whole life. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, so I went to the doctor, and I was like, I had a fever. I can't breathe. My chest hurts. I'm not really worried if I get it. Um, I just don't want you to get sick, so that's why I have the mask on. But like I don't know what's up. He goes, like go ahead and open your mouth real quick, and like looks in my throat to see if there's any like mucus or anything. He's like, bro, your post nasal drip is bad. Your allergies are just kicking in like overdrive this year. I was like, I mean, that would explain why I'm like tired and coughing and yeah. And so he prescribed me a bunch of allergy medication and one to prevent a cough. I didn't know there was medication to prevent coughs from starting. That you swallow a pill and then it's like your cough disappears before it happens. That's weird. That's like Minority Report right there. Like if there's gonna be a violent cough, we know where.
Hmm. It's so crazy. I mean, my mom and me both got hit with allergies really bad this year, which is crazy because I've never had allergies. Like in the last 2 years is the first time I've noticed that I've been like susceptible to like things like pollen.
Oh
And
yeah. Apparently it's every 7 years your body completely like turns on its head, and you're more susceptible to allergies that you didn't know you had, especially the
That's
seasonal ones.
crazy. Dude, I felt my head was congested, my nose was congested. I was getting coughs randomly. I was like,
You were congested for like 2 months, bro. Like,
oh, that was terrible. You remember
yeah,
that 2 month period that I wanted to die because I couldn't breathe. I was like,
you
oh,
going to the gym, you were still getting on the bike and everything. It was like, you're so dumb.
yeah, I was running out
Why
of
would you
air.
do
I
that
was on
to
the bike
yourself?
running out of air, but it would clear me up. See, what people don't understand is a lot of head colds can get cleared up with
That
cardio.
is pseudoscience. Get
It's
out of here
pseudoscience.
until you show me some like Harvard med school, some Ivy League school of
Harvard's
medicine.
closed.
Yeah, Harvard is a glorified hedge fund. Get out of here. Anyway, until some like PhD level research has been done on whether or not you riding the bike is what cured your your chest cold. Get out of here. You're so full of it if you think that. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that exercise can help, like a cold. Get out of here.
I'm becoming an exercise activist. I'm actually getting into calisthenics now, so
You're gonna
that's
turn
fun.
into the Scientologist of fitness. You're gonna be like, listen, like with the active lifestyle, all you have to do is make sure that every traumatic incident that ever happened in your life, you have to believe that it's positive, and then exercise to let that out. Oh
You
my
got
gosh,
depression. You got depression. You just go on that treadmill and you run. You run
forget
away from
about it.
your
Just run.
depression.
Yeah, run. running running quickly away from your depression. Oh my gosh.
Would be
Just
terrible.
imagine you if you sold a book that was pseudoscience. I, I can you please start one. Please make it about how you starved yourself for your fitness lifestyle. I merely died at the gym like 3 times. Don't even say it was one time that I was benching. No, you've almost died at the gym like 3 whole times.
I've had 3 panic attacks at the gym, which is like
Oh
terrible.
my
I've had like
gosh.
2 anxiety attacks and one just straight up panic attack at the gym. Like I was mid lift. I was doing what's it called,
Squat.
raises. I was
Oh.
doing raises for my shoulders, and I raised, and all of a sudden I was like, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. I was like, oh
Oh
my
jeez.
god. So I don't know what happens to me when I'm at. Probably should get that looked at, but
You just got to keep listening to your ring a ding a ding music.
my ring a ding a ding music, yeah.
That's what it sounds like in your headphones. It's just like ring a ding a ding a ding. That's what it sounds like. Don't tell me I'm wrong, because
Speaking
I mean,
of music,
oh man,
Sam,
I was just getting ready to say though to finish off. I've never had a panic attack at the gym. I've never had that happen before. But let me tell you what. Before
I
you and
don't think most people have had panic attacks at the gym, so
I don't. I'm talking like, uh, before you and I started going to the gym together, like when our schedules were so completely different to the point where like we could not go to the gym at the same time at all within any stretch of the imagination. Like I was still getting off of work at 9 at the mall and everything, and
yeah.
you
And
weren't even
I
hired
was,
yet.
yeah, I was going to the
Um,
gym at like 2 o'clock or 5 in the afternoon
in
whenever
the
I was
afternoon,
out.
yeah, yeah. And so I would leave. I would be so depressed. Like honestly, you're supposed to go to the gym and you're supposed to leave feeling so like upbeat and happy that you just did something positive for yourself. But I was like, I went in there alone. I didn't see anyone I knew. I uh, I don't feel great. I feel like I just ran a marathon and then got hit by Hulk Hogan. Like this is terrible.
Clothesline.
This is clotheslined by Hulk Hogan. This knocked out cold on the lat machine. It's like
Mm.
this sucks. I would never ever, not even now. I still don't leave the gym happy. I honestly I think that part of the problem is that I go in unsatisfied,
Mm.
leaving, hoping to be satisfied with performance immediately after. But like now I see how hard I worked in the past and how easy it is to lose all of that hard work over the course of like not having any real way to like lift and add a solid amount of muscle all at once. Because for me it was never like bulk up, get big, get super huge and super strong. It was like intentionally for obviously for aesthetic purposes to feel more confident in who I
Hmm.
am as a human being, but also to like gain weight because I get dangerously skinny sometimes. My insomnia is so bad. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, The Machinist, with Christian Bale,
No.
where he deals with such bad insomnia. I mean, he's like constantly losing weight. And this was like literally right before he filmed Batman. He starved himself to the point where he only weighed like 90 something pounds.
Mm,
And he's a tall guy. He's like 6 foot something, and
yeah, that
weighing
was
like
terrible.
90 something pounds. It was so unhealthy for him. Then he built up to be as beefy as Batman. Like, and he put on some weight for that movie. And then afterwards, he overate and made himself like stupid fat for Dick Cheney in Vice. Like
Yeah.
that, his body in Vice is actually real.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he had to put all the weight on his face and everything too, so that he could embody Dick Cheney. I mean, whether or not you agree with the you know politics of any left leaning movie, it's like Christian Bale's awesome in everything, but he did that to his body. And I mean, I wish that I could honestly, like, I wish that it was so effortless the way that it is for him. And you saw right after Vice, we went to go see Ford versus Ferrari together. He was like a standard, like slim guy.
Yeah, he
Right?
was back to his lightweight.
You gotta have some serious dedication in order to do something like that. But I mean, I
Yeah.
would I would go into the gym expecting to have that machinist to Batman change, you know? And it doesn't work like that. I mean, it takes a
Years,
lot of
months. It takes
no months and money, months and
Yeah,
money.
it definitely takes a lot of money. Of course, actors have the best nutritionists, the best anything that
The
they can have
best
access.
diet, the best protein that's literally designed chemically on a biological and microscopic level for their body. Like, yeah, I mean, it's so
I started going to the gym not only because, I felt unhealthy, but because I was really depressed at the time. And I think the only thing that was helping me at the time, I've gotten a better grasp of it lately, but was helping me at the time was just like the release of the frustration and the anger that I was able to
yeah.
do while I was lifting. I that is, by the way, if anybody's doing it, obviously to go work out to release stress and do things like that, it's awesome, perfect, great outlet, better than like drinking, smoking, doing anything like
Just don't
that.
hurt yourself.
Don't do that. Don't hurt yourself, because I was going to the gym around 3 hours a day, and I am not
Wasn't
kidding.
eating and was
No,
not taking
I
care of like
was
diet health. Like, oh my
pure
gosh.
pure adrenaline was what was running me during the gym. And
Adrenaline and Islam. Turning to Mecca every night before you got to eat like a morsel of food was what kept you going to the gym. Your strength, your strength was completely replenished by the Prophet himself.
my strength was Indian people. That's what it.
Oh my gosh, we're not even getting into that. So,
No, but honest to God, I think that was really stupid. That was a really bad method to use to get stronger, or to be able to build the discipline to the gym, because I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. Like, my joints hurt
oh
so
yeah,
much
me,
now.
yeah.
Like, with the days off from the gym, you'd be surprised when your body starts relaxing from having a constant gym routine.
Oh
You
yeah,
will
you
feel
you
that.
up to though. Like my buddy Jake, you remember Jake and Scott Lanza, right? Um, my buddy Jake, Jake and Scott went on vacation, right? They went to like Jamaica or something. And Jake and Scott are beefy dudes, right? They work out all the time. That's their shtick. Like, that's their hobby. That's what they do for fun. They just exercise because they love it. Um, but they exercise all the time, and obviously, like, when you're lifting and constantly doing hard, heavy work, all of that water is super condensed, right? Because it's used to being pumped. They
Yeah.
went on vacation, and then they were like balloons, bro. They went poof, and their muscles were like the size of watermelons. Like they are huge dudes, but like I mean, like you can see, I mean, they obviously take their days off and everything. And Jake was the first person to tell me that like, hey bro, so you're trying to gain weight, it's not working for you. You probably spend too much time there. You need to take more days off, and you need to do higher intensity stuff while you're there because you don't want to burn that many calories. You want to keep as many
Mm.
calories in your body as possible. I was like, I mean, I didn't really think about that. I would do a mile on the treadmill, and then go and do my, like arm routine, and then the other day do my leg routine. But I would always start with a mile on the treadmill, and I guess I was really kind of doing a number on myself there. I was losing a lot of weight.
I think what I learned from this is like just staying home and the fact that I actually ended up losing 10 pounds was that I don't need cardio anymore. At this point, cardio is not helping me.
No,
It's
no,
hurting.
it's going to be more harmful to you than good because of the way. I mean, you have completely reshaped your metabolism. And because I mean and because you're young, obviously the young human body can recover a lot better than somebody who's like you're 19, you're 20, you're overweight, you go to the gym, it will come off a lot faster than somebody who's like 30, 40 years old who's really upset at the fact that they let themselves go and then now they got to go work it all off. It takes a lot
Yeah,
longer.
I mean, and you gotta take into consideration my metabolism was never bad. I'm not gonna say the
No.
metabolism was bad because I wasn't that big. I didn't like obviously I weighed 100 pounds more. I had a lot of body fat because I had very little muscle. But I used to eat like 8,000 and 9,000 calories a
Yeah, bro,
day.
you were eating like enough to feed a small family,
Yeah,
bro.
I was consuming like at least 12 to 13 meals in a day.
That
So
okay, now that's a stupid number that I did not know.
no,
But
no,
I
I
mean,
was because I would literally go home, eat like let's say before work, I would eat lunch and then come and then probably eat like what would literally be considered a second lunch or a third lunch at work. So like
I don't find motivation to eat like that. I just don't. That's part of the reason why I think also like I lose weight too because I just don't think about eating that much until I'm hungry.
yeah, I
Like
think
today I needed to go and get a nice Italian from Wawa because that's what I do. I go and I get this. I can if anybody wants to know my like secret recipe of the Italian sub at Wawa, just let me know because it's so good. But I go and I get the sub. I pay like $5 or $6 however much it costs, and then I feel amazing afterwards because I had a ton of protein, a solid amount of carbs. I drank a lot of water, like and had the fat from the mayonnaise and the oil and vinegar. Like that, all that stuff's good for you too. And like once I eat that, I wasn't hungry again for like like another like 6 hours.
I mean, think about just before we started this podcast, like today, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll eat dinner after." Like I wasn't hungry. I mean, I was just kind
Yeah,
of like, "Yeah, that's an inconvenience. I'll do it later, Sam."
yeah, yeah. I mean, and and I'm telling you, I think it has something to do with the way that your metabolism works now. I think it's everything to do with the fact that you don't eat as much as you used to, so you're not as hungry as you used to
Yeah.
be.
Oh my God. I used to not even be hungry. I used to just eat because I was
You
bored.
you honestly, your stomach is probably the size of like an egg right now because of how bad like you starve yourself over that time. Because your stomach, I mean, your stomach is a muscle in and of itself too, and it stretches and compresses for the amount of food that it's used to taking in. So
Definitely.
we can move on from this topic if you want
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Um,
Go ahead.
so we decided that in lieu of recent events, I'm working on an album right now, and I'm really excited about that. I've been having a ton of fun over the course of the recording process. Got myself all set up in my room, and so I can get a lot of stuff done. Quarantine has been a blessing and a curse in and of itself, but I wanted to go and dig for a little inspiration, let's say, and I found everything that you probably just shouldn't
Mhm.
do when writing lyrics. So, did you have any that were pulled up? Or
I
no, or you only have that one that's in Purdue.
yeah, no, I only have my brown lyrics.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna start with I don't know if anybody knows the Gold Mine. That's Human by the Killers. I'm down on my knees, searching for the answer. Are we human or are we dancer? Are we dancer? What? Yeah, so quick question. Are we dancer?
Are we dancer?
Another great one. Um, so Kiss, one of the base. Okay, so listen, if Disney World was to make a rock band, it would be Kiss. Kiss sucks. I don't look. People are gonna probably
Wow.
flame me up for
Yeah,
saying
you're gonna
this.
get
Kiss,
flamed for that.
Kiss sucks. Kiss is not. Kiss is the worst. They are like. Well, also Aerosmith sucks too. So anybody who wants to flame me up for that too, go ahead. Aerosmith has one good song, and then everything else after that was a dumpster fire. But uh, but Kiss, I'm not allowed to say the name of the particular song. But but the lyric is, "Oh babe, I want to put my log in your fireplace." Ah, like that's so shamelessly terrible. I'm telling you, Kiss sucks. They suck. Um, Here's another one from Blaze of Glory by Bon Jovi,
Hmm.
which Bon Jovi is fine. I'm not big into that era, like the late '80s, early
Oh,
'90s.
here's a funny token. I'm just gonna add this in there.
No, go ahead.
Whenever I put in like whenever I ask Siri to like um play Punjabi Essentials, uh because I want to because that's what I listen to. Punjab, as our
Punjab.
coworkers say it, Punjab. Who'd you just name? What artist did you just name?
John Bon Jovi.
Yeah, it would play Bon Jovi because it would think I said Bon Jovi instead of Bon
Oh,
Jovi.
Punjabi.
I would have to I would have,
Punjabi Essentials
so I
plays John
randomly hear
Bon
his
Jovi.
music.
That's hilarious. I mean,
So,
he's from Jersey.
oh well, then he has my respect.
He's one of those Jersey boys, just like Bruce Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen's awesome. Um, here's a good one. It doesn't make any sense. It's not particularly terrible. It doesn't make any sense. It's I'm a devil on a run, a six-gun lover. Does that mean this dude has got six of them?
Six guns that he loves.
Six guns loaded at all times. And if you want to read between the lines in that one, go ahead because that's definitely what he was singing about. But I mean, unless John Bon Jovi has got like some like astral four-dimensional six structure down there, I mean, I don't know. That doesn't sounds
He
kind of
might.
unbelievable, John Bon Jovi. Sounds oh, this one is just bad. Nickelback, okay, the worst, like one of the worst bands ever is
Mm.
Nickelback, and it's so easy to hate them because they're just so bad. Um, uh, we'll bleep out one word just because I have to read this one. I love your pants around your feet. You're like my favorite darn disease. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Do you know, like,
Hey,
so
that sounds like something I would use, on my Tinder profile.
just just imagine like I love your pants around your feet. You're like congenital herpes. It's like that's
Oh my
literally what he's saying.
God.
It's literally what he's saying.
God, can you
That's
imagine? Can you imagine if you swiped on someone on Tinder and they matched with you and they were like, "Hey, baby, I want you like congenital herpes
oh
for
man.
you to
Oh
never
man.
leave me."
Just stop right there.
Dude, I gotta use that on someone. I wonder if yo.
Here's a good one. Here's a really good one. There's gonna be a jailbreak somewhere in this town. Probably the jail, right? Not like not like there's gonna be a jailbreak somewhere in this town. Like there's a jail somewhere. No, no. If there's a jailbreak in this town, it'll probably be at the jail. Oh man, here's a good one. Puff Daddy, can't nobody hold me down. Young, black, and famous, with money hanging out the anus.
People don't understand how how like wrong some of these songs sound, like especially like hard left-siders that are super like, left-sided. I don't think they look into some of their favorite artists and they're like,
Man,
God, man, this is kind of fruity. This song right here is
he's
kind of
known
fruity.
as he's known as like, oh gosh, this guy again. I mean, that's literally what Puff Daddy music is. It's, oh God,
On
do
the
that
other
again.
hand, brown music translates into oxygen mask is much needed. Or men to every other girl they see. Now that lyric in my language is
And
very,
to
very
every
touching.
other girl they see.
Yeah, I think what it means
Read
to say,
read
it
that one
says
more time.
it says men to every other girl they see. I think what it means, like this is a word by word translation, but I think what it's supposed to be is like you're the first man I fell in love with. But for some reason, the phrase translated to men to every other girl they see.
That's so weird. It just goes to show how how poorly every language translates to English. But I'm sure there are other languages that translate like seamlessly, effortlessly. And then there's English. And it's like the most complicated language in the world, and it's the one that everybody is supposed to learn all around the world.
Oh my god. I don't think you ever watched any anime, Sam? You
I
stay
know,
away from anime.
I tend to do my best to stay away from it just because there's a lot of weird stuff out there, bro. A
There's
lot of weird
definitely
stuff.
especially with the weird stuff that one of our coworkers was showing us at one point,
Oh,
but
jeez.
we're not even gonna touch
Oh
up
my
on.
gosh, tentacles. That was just crossing a line with me. That was like, look, dude, I'm not gonna name drop him.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, that's why.
look, dude. Just because it's the mall's Wi-Fi doesn't mean you can just look up whatever you want.
Yeah, number
That
one,
was
if
so
anybody
bad.
if anybody is interested in what we're talking about, if, to your own discretion, look up volleyball anime and
Oh my
just
gosh, that one where like the one. Oh my gosh, I was so confused, but I was also at the same time I was sitting there thinking I was like, this grown man, this 40-year-old man, old enough to be my father, is sitting next to me watching this like cartoon teenage girls play volleyball with their butts. Like just think, I mean, just for a sec, I was so weirded out by it. I was so not okay with it.
so what I was talking about was normal anime,
Suwardu,
aka
Jotaro.
things like Naruto and One
Ew.
Piece and all those. Dude, they translate so badly into English.
It's
It
so
is
funny.
it is so funny. If anybody did like a step by step, like if it wasn't professional people doing the translation, if anybody just straight up just typed the words down, dude, it would be so stupid. There would be like words and there would be like your feet toe in my face, toe face, and be
I
like,
love I
what?
love the broken English, like where they say certain English words in the show, but not because sometimes in the show those words don't actually exist
Mm,
in that language, which makes sense. I mean, there's definitely like a ton of phrases to describe it, but in order to like get the point across, if you can use an English word instead of a long Japanese phrase, I'm sure they're gonna do it. I'm sure they're gonna do it. But you want to know the legitimate translation from English to Japanese? How to say hot dog in Japanese?
how?
It's hot dog.
Hot dog, eh?
No, no, hot dog. Say it speak it in anime. So like imagine you're watching Naruto or One Piece. How they would say, please hand me one hot dog. That's what I think of every single time. Man, anime, you're really open up a whole new world for some people when you break into anime though. I mean there's
Yeah,
so much out there.
anime culture is amazing when you're not in the weird spectrum of it, I think anime
Oh
watchers
yeah.
get very, very bad raps because people like our coworker exists, who
And because
watches.
Stanley from The Office, it's called hentai and it's art. That was a funny answer.
It's not art, by the way. I'm just gonna say it's
No, no,
just a
it's kind of messed up if that's what you do with your time.
yeah.
But
That's
I
stupid.
like I like a lot of the movies that were coming around in the 80s.
Hmm.
Like Akira. That's a
Yeah.
great movie. That's a fantastic movie. Ghost in the Shell. Um, that's a pretty good one too. All of the Studio Ghibli films, like Spirited Away. Oh my gosh, Spirited Away is such a great movie. It's got such a great soundtrack. Like those. Now, if we're talking anime, that's what I can get into. When it comes to like the TV shows, there's just so much of it that it's like my one of my friends says, Bryce, for instance, will say,
Mm,
"Hey, watch JoJo," and I'm like, I don't even know where to start. Like, obviously, you would start on episode one, but like, there's just so much of that show that comes out all at once, all the time. Like, it's just episode, 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 episode. Because I mean, a lot of times, I'm, I'm pretty sure the editing board, it's just kind of like anything goes in anime. It's like, oh, so what if he like cuts his arms off, and then once his arms are gone, he can still move by like the power of like his mom's mind. And they're like, his mom? Yeah, let's just go with that. I was like, okay, what's gonna be there instead of arms and legs? They're like, uh, there's like grass around, so he's gonna like use his mom's mind powers to make these arms and legs out of grass for him to walk around and grab stuff with. Like that's just anime. That's what
that's
it is.
just
They just say the craziest, most outrageous things.
that is anime culture for you. You know, it's a whole bunch of just random stuff coming
Just
together.
stuff. And like I don't
Um,
judge. I don't judge. Like I don't think it's stupid or anything. And I'm not trying
I'm
to say like I'm hating on it or anything, but like it's just a lot to get into.
I'm pretty sure Naruto, with its 2 seasons combined, has 500. Was it 1,000 plus episodes?
Did
Or
you
not
just
two,
say did you say 2 seasons?
not 2 seasons. It's more like a two series, but
Oh,
it
like
is.
Naruto and then Naruto Shippuden and then
Yeah.
and then
Naruto.
yeah.
Don't talk about Bruto. Bruto is so stupid right now. Okay, we're not even gonna get into anime talk because again, don't know our audience. I don't think anybody in our audience is
It
gonna be
doesn't
like,
matter if anybody watches anime. Cool, like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
doesn't matter.
obviously,
It doesn't
obvious.
matter
Yeah,
if you
you can.
watch it. Good for you. I mean, it's a culture that I can't personally get into because there's just too much of it, and it's
Well, it's just like music. I mean, some people are just not music. Like someone like me, like for example, I love listening to music of any
yeah,
kind. I think anybody, and music is one thing that's universally liked by anyone. But there are specific
yeah.
people
Stevie
who
Wonder
are,
said that the
yeah,
music is a language
anyone
within
can speak.
itself and
Yeah,
in a language we all understand. A world within itself and a language we all understand. It's a
yeah.
great lyric for the intro to Sir Duke, which is a great song.
But then there's people that are more passionate about it.
Yeah, that's with
That are
anything.
just that are just people that I would say are more in the culture, more people that are more around. You know, you got your musicians and things like that. But I think
Right.
that's with anything can be done too much, and anything can be done a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I think you can be passionate about anything. There are people passionate about shoes nowadays, like having a ginormous shoe collection and then just making a stupid amount of money from exposure for how big your shoe collection is. I mean,
That's
that's cool.
so
You're,
stupid to me. I'm
you're,
sorry. There's a,
I mean, your hobby could be underwater basket weaving. That's real, by the way. Underwater basket weaving. It's a real thing, and it's actually a competitive sport.
did you say it's a competitive? Okay.
Yeah, underwater basket weaving. The first person who can do the like weave a whole basket fastest is the winner of this competition. It's so strange. But I mean, like, look, there is culture for everything in America. I'm just saying, if you can think it, it's probably somebody else has already thought about it and somebody is doing it.
Hmm.
I mean, this place is a very culturally diverse place that we live in, and by culture I mean like there's some weird stuff out there.
Dude, the weird stuff happens around this country a lot, and
It's
I
all
think
happening in Florida.
Florida is to blame for so many of the world's problems.
Oh my gosh, right now. They just opened up all of their beaches again last night. Did you know that?
Why? For what purpose? I swear to God, man. How hard is it to stay home, especially for Marylanders? Come, like the unemployment office is offering you $600 a week. Stay home,
That
please.
was more than I was making a week when I was like working like 35, 40 hours.
Exactly. Like stay home. You're getting
If yeah,
free money from the government. Stay home.
you know
Like,
how much work I would get done at home, right? So
mhm.
much work. I would get so much stuff done while I was here. And then just making money from just doing stuff. Everybody, you're living the dream right now if you're not going to work. This is a pretty crazy lifestyle to live right now. It's definitely definitely a weird time to be alive for sure. I mean, I still don't understand though. It's still boggling my mind that the economy can keep flourishing and keep growing and keep failing at the same time. I don't
Yeah,
understand. I don't know. I don't get it. It's such a strange beast to me.
so crazy. It's so stupid, and I think people, the public, needs to understand that this is going to change everything.
Oh my
Like,
gosh. If we go back to work and like next week or the week after, like the May 1st, I think it's 2 weeks from now. Oh my gosh, the world is never gonna go back to normal. We're gonna have to live with masks on until there's a vaccine. Until
literally.
and Lord knows when there's gonna be an actual legitimate vaccine that comes out about this. Um,
Yeah.
did you know? Did you know that Tom Hanks' wife recovered from taking the hydroxychloroquine, the
Hmm.
malaria
Yeah.
drug?
Malaria
And
drug.
people are trying to get the president arrested for crimes against humanity for recommending it. They're trying to get him for anything. It's kind of hysterical to see the lengths that some people have gone to get him out of office.
At
I
this
love it.
point,
It's just the spectacle of it is what fascinates me.
I think and it's hilarious. People in Pakistan were talking about how they're immune to like the coronavirus because
Nope.
they've been dealing with malaria for years.
Nope. Just gonna put that
But
on the
yeah,
mark. Nope.
nobody is immune from it. It was a joke, obviously, but it was funny.
Nope.
But we're nearing an hour and 22 minutes, Sam.
An hour and 22 minutes. Man, we really do know how to go completely off the rails of our little script that we have written here.
Yeah, we
Um,
definitely didn't follow through with that, but it's fine. Well, we
it's
did.
totally fine. We got to a place where we're pretty much comfortable with, I guess, putting a period on the end of the sentence there.
Mhm.
Um, closing notes.
All I'm gonna say is please continue to stay at home, especially if you're a Maryland resident. Go out there and file your unemployment right now because they are starting those $600 payments this week. If you haven't already filed for unemployment, do your best to do so so you can take full advantage of that because right now the government is trying to help as many people as it can, and you should be trying to take advantage of it. Now, of course, this doesn't mean that obviously do it if you need to. File for unemployment if you need to. If
Yeah, don't take
you
somebody
are,
else's money
yeah,
if
don't
you're.
take someone else's money because obviously the more people that file for unemployment, the less money there is in the pool. So if you need it, do it. Take care of yourself and stay safe.
Yep, and I'm probably gonna go off on the same tangent there. It's a very difficult and strange situation for a race of people who are very social, for a group Americans in general are some of the most social people in the world. And it just goes to show. I mean, we have television shows in America where somebody carries a microphone around and then just goes and asks people random questions. You know what I mean? We live in a very very socially oriented culture. This has been extremely difficult for someone like me, who who flourishes. I thrive in in social circumstances where I just have to talk to people. I love it. I love communicating, and I love getting to know people. And um, it's it's a really difficult time for me personally missing like my friends. Like I haven't seen Abdullah here in like almost a month, or
Probably
if
a
not
month.
if not a month or been some change. I think it's been 31 days or 30. No, for me I think it's been 36 days. For everybody else, it's been like 31 days. Like we got locked down a week early, which is. But for those of you who are going through the same thing, the fact that you miss your friends, you miss your family, you miss people that you would normally be interacting with daily, or sometimes, common. Like it's a common interaction for you to be with a person like that often. Um, Hold on, stay strong. It's not forever. It's going. We are going to adjust to life with face masks and gloves. And once you are around people for a certain amount of time, obviously, you can be around that person and not have a mask on. Like, you're not going to go to your best friend's house and just wear a mask the whole time you're there. You're not going to. I know you're not going to. None of us are stupid. We know you're not going to do that. But it's not going to be forever.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the reason why they've had the stay-at-home and the stay-in-place orders in place is to keep you safe. It's to keep other people safe. I mean, people my age, people your age, we really don't. Me personally, I don't. Even though I might not get this virus super, like, it might not be the worst thing in the world if I do get it, and I do pass it, and I went to work for the next couple days after that, and somebody's grandparents came in, and I gave them the virus. That's the worst thought for me.
Yeah.
And
I think that's
so,
what everybody's scared about. It's just giving it this, like, it's a whole nother toll knowing that you gave it to somebody else.
So just do yourself the favor for your conscience, and do others the favor for communal health in general. You are changing and saving the world by staying home. And that's not an exaggeration. I mean, you saw what happened in Italy. People just did not distance until almost everybody like perished. I mean, there was a lot of people in Italy that died. A lot of people in Italy that died. Um, so just stay home, stay strong, learn some new hobbies. If you can, let us know what it is that you just learned how to do while you're stuck during your life in quarantine, and then let us know. We'd love to feature you. If you got a weird talent that you learned how to do, let's showcase that. That would be so freaking cool.
Yeah, anything other than push-up challenges, I would love to feature those.
Yeah, that'd be sick. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning into another episode. This has been pretty long one, but appreciate you sticking out from the beginning to the end. Everybody, stay safe, stay strong, stay safe.
And that's on God, baby girl. You gotta stay safe.
Have a good one, folks.